Have you got an interview coming up and you want the confidence to know that when you get in there, you're going to ace the interview and come out successful? Then stick around for some of my tried and tested tips. Hi guys, it's Antoinette, the Confident Woman, and welcome back to my channel, your one-stop source for confident living. Now, I have a few tips for you because interviews are my forte and I'll mention them. They may seem obvious, but hopefully when I go over them, you might get one or two things that'll be like, oh yeah, light bulb moment. I needed to hear that. So before I go any further, if you haven't subscribed, click that button below if you like the content, obviously. Starting off, I think the first and most important thing for you to do is get your mind right. Your mindset is so important. Mention a video I have done without talking about the mind and your mindset and how important it is. And that's because it's so closely linked to everything we do in life and linked to living a confident life. And it's one of the fundamental things that you need to get in place. You need to go in there knowing that I got this. Yeah, I got this. I think there's only been one interview where I didn't get the job. And that's because when I go in with the mindset that these people, they need me, even if it's really me that needs them. And I tell you, nothing will boost your confidence like that. You need to carry yourself with like, I can do this because they already seen potential in me. So let everything else shine through when they meet me. Own this thing, you know? So back to what I was saying. See the whole interview as a date. If it's too formal, try and make it less formal. Try and make it more conversational, and you do this by asking questions. You can do it even in the interview. You don't have to wait till the end. If you're confident, you have the ability to make not only yourself relax, but the people that are interviewing you, and that is so key because it changes the whole mood of the interview. It makes it something that is enjoyable. And remember that you are selling yourself in essence, not your skills or your ability, but who you are, your personality. And that's what they really want to see at this stage. I'm telling you, a lot of employers admit to hiring people they see will fit well in their team over and above what they can bring to the team, because at the end of the day, they can teach you stuff, but they can't alter your personality. So let that sink in. Let that sink in. 9 times out of 10, your application and the CV process showcases what you can do for them, what you can bring to the table. So they kind of push that on the scale of importance all the way down, and now personality and who this person is goes all the way up as in importance level. So you need to shine through. So on the flip side, if you're brilliant and you have this great personality but you lack the confidence to portray that in the interview, you're the only person losing out on this. So you need to buck up on your confidence. Check out my video where I mentioned 5 instant confident boosts. These boosts that you need when in the nick of time, when you ain't got time to be doing all this process. Go check that video out when you finish this. Now my next pointer is first impressions count. Now we don't like to hear this because it's not fair. We don't even like to talk about it in the society that we live in right now, but it's the truth. And especially in an interview process, the first impression that you give them is paramount. It's so important. It could be the deal breaker. Most interviewers have made a decision about you within the first few minutes of even meeting you. So like I mentioned before, you really need to come with your A game and actually show them that, you know what, I care not only about myself but this job, right down to how you present yourself. Your presentation is key, and this kind of extends to your online profiles. Like, what's your LinkedIn profile saying? Even put that to the side. What's your Instagram, what's your Facebook profile saying? What are you saying if you've got open accounts or you're using your real name for your social media accounts? All of these things, you better believe that these people take these things into account. In this day and age, people search up about you before you even come to the interview. And here's another point that I also want to bring out that a lot of people seem to think is not important, but it is. Research the type of environment you're applying to. Do this beforehand. Like, do they have a corporate type feel to them, or are they more relaxed? Can you fit in that team? You need to decide. If it's not a case where you're desperate for this job and it's a job where you've got options of applying elsewhere, bear all of that in mind beforehand and save yourself the heartache and trouble of going for a job where 3 months down the line you don't feel like you quite fit in, or you don't feel like the job is for you, and that's because the environment's not right. So research all of this beforehand. So it doesn't only help you in your interview, it helps you in your decision making, like, is this job even for me, before I go through this whole interview process in the first place. And don't beat yourself down if you don't get a job. Most of the time they just feel that, look, this person will probably not fit in right here, even if you feel that you've got all the credentials and all of that. They just not ready for your juice. Like I said, they're not ready. They're not ready to sip that tea. So guys, my next point is body language, and I could teach a whole course on this, because it's safe to say that up to 85% of our communication is non-verbal. So if you can get someone close to you to just highlight some of your little quirks that might not sit quite right, or might be read a different way beforehand, might help you. Or you look at yourself in the mirror, keep practicing it over, and try and gauge, how can the other person be reading this? My handshake, my posture, my gestures, what my hands and my feet are saying, and most importantly, my eyes, my eye contact. All of these things play a role, and I think this is what makes people so nervous, because and lack confidence in interviews, because it's like you don't know what to do at a particular time, and it's like you don't know what to expect, and or what if what I'm doing is out of line. All of that, I would just say practice it beforehand, get some feedback beforehand, because we all have our quirks. Naturally, I talk with my hands. I always use my hands, but is my hands too much? Am I too much in your face with my hands? You know, all of those kind of things. Do I need to tone it down and just bring it down here, simmer for a while? Now, my next pointer is personalize the interview. I touched on this earlier, making it relaxed for not only yourself but for the interviewer. And a good way of doing this is asking questions. And a good question that I tend to ask a lot in interviews is, I ask the interviewer, what do they like about their job? What good thing do they like about their job? And it throws them off a bit, because not a lot of people are expecting that kind of question, and it makes them think. But it makes them think, it takes them to a happy place. We're getting into the psychology of things here, you know. It takes them into a place where they have to think about, what do I like about this job? And you kind of see their countenance, they change, they have a smile on their face, and it puts them in a good mood. Well, unless they don't like their job. So yeah, and it breaks down barriers that could be there, like barriers of nervousness that you might be trying to hold. Everyone just kind of gets relaxed, and it's more conversational. So ask questions, and it also reflects good on you, because it shows that you're not just interested in the money, you're actually interested in this job, you're interested in finding out about the people, finding out about the place. So ask questions. Remember, it's not just about them, it's about you as well. And the next pointer that I want to bring out is, if you do get the job, you've gone through the whole interview process and you've been successful, and they give you an offer, especially if you're going into like a corporate environment, so to say, they give you an offer, you need to start negotiating on that. You need to contest that. They're expecting it 9 times out of 10. Like, see, as a marketplace, they're expecting you to contend what they are offering you. A lot of people don't know this, and that's why they don't ask for like people to review. Okay, you're offering me this, but like I'm bringing XYZ to the table, what you gonna do for me? This is not good enough. That kind of thing. Obviously you're not gonna say it like that, but you know what I mean. You need to negotiate with that offer. You're entitled to, they're expecting it, so do it. You need to brave yourself up and be confident in it. Like, if it's not a low scale job, for instance, where anyone can apply to the job regardless of your qualifications, and if you go try that with retail, they'll just tell you to sort off. Like, who do you think you are? They'll replace you like that. No, so if it's not that kind of job and that you're going into, please have the boldness to go out there and contest the offer. You're not going to lose the job because you're saying, okay, let's negotiate this pay package, because like I said before, they're expecting it. So yeah, do that. That's something else that I thought I would point out, because a lot of people don't actually know it. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. I hope you got 1 or 2 things from this video and you benefited from it. And remember that it's one step at a time to becoming confident. So I will see you in my next video. Until next time, guys, bye for now.